Well, good morning, our beloveds. This morning is designed more to inspire and alert and align with our another. She has so much on her plate these days, and she feels either overwhelmed or stressed or tired or depleted. How many of you feel that way? How many of you feel like you are running a marathon and the end still is not in sight, that it feels like it will never end? Maybe recognize that you have some choices on this marathon. You can just pull up a chair and sit for a bit. There is no need for you to continuously to be in movement. Many of you have bought into the principles of the rat race. But maybe it's just a race, and it's not one that you have to win per se, but just complete or finish. Now, what does that mean? It simply means that you don't give up. But so many of you have been taught that to sit down is cheating. It's not permitted. It makes you a loser. It makes you lazy. Who taught you this? The patriarchy. Those who benefit from your activity, who sell your services to somebody else's benefit while you get pennies on the dollar, or those who hire you, tell you that you can and will easily be replaced if you don't do your job. Who taught those people that? And who taught the people who taught them that? It is simply a belief system. And believe it or not, if enough of you stand up and say no more, and you choose different solutions, or maybe even create different solutions, when no one shows up for those shit jobs because you're not treated well there, well, that is when the game changes. It is a labor supply and demand marketplace issue. It is simply he who has more power. And if everybody unionized, so to speak, and said no more, no more, no more, or actually created other organizations that valued the health and well-being of their employees, who didn't fire them for standing up for themselves, but actually encouraged autonomy in healthy ways, who listened to what your needs and demands were, and met you collaboratively instead of fought you. Can you imagine a world? Now think of your family construct where the parents either overlord over their children or collaboratively communicate with them. Which type of parental household would you like to grow in? And no, we did not misspeak. Which type of household would you like to grow in? You can grow in adulthood as much as you do in childhood. Do you prefer people who boss you around or who invite you in? Do you prefer people who care about your opinions and feelings, or you prefer somebody who just bulldozes over you? What you prefer and how you treat others is a strong sign of how you were raised. Not that it's right or wrong, but if you talk down to people, abuse them, neglect them, and find purpose in exerting your control, then you are a bully, simply a bully, and you don't care about the harm that you cause to others. And if instead you get down to a child's level, to look them in the eyes, so you're not lording over them, and you talk to them kindly and gently, and make them feel safe, it is because you see the child to a certain extent as your equal, and you care about how they experience you. There is a vast difference between being kind and being nice. It is simply, do you want something from the person, or do you honestly respect and value the other person where you treat them like an equal? It's coming around. The change is on the bend. It's on the horizon. And everyone can feel it. And for those of you who embrace the change while recognizing you have no idea where it's going to take you, versus debating the authenticity and the appropriateness of young people having a voice, choosing to be lazy, choosing to opt out of the patriarchal system that the rest of you have emboldened over the last years. When change is on the horizon, it is always uncomfortable. And we can tell you that many of you won't like the outcome, but that is because you don't like things to show up unannounced, and you like things to be predictable and to be controllable. And this new paradigm cannot be controlled. It is meant to be excessively excretive. We don't know what it's going to look like either on the other side, but we do know that it will honor individuation. It will honor individuality. It will honor individualization. Some of these words don't even exist yet because new things are on the horizon. And when innovators are born, they may look crazy during the current times, but look back at your histories. Those who were the greatest innovators were told in their contemporary times that they were crazy. So maybe crazy isn't crazy. It's just getting insight from the universe in ways that you just don't understand. So stop over-medicating and over-normalizing what the patriarchy does to the young people. Allow them to play out in nature. Allow them to step out of the construct that you feel comfortable in, and encourage them to figure out a path for them that works. Let them live on the land. Let them climb the trees again. Let them grow food in the gardens. Let them learn animal husbandry. What if the universe is bringing these gifts back sometime in the future, and your children are being taught now how to learn those skills so that when they are called upon, they can jump into service? You don't know what you don't know. Nobody really expects and anticipates a world war. Look at Russia and the Ukraine. It's still going on, and it kind of came out of nowhere. But did it really? Or was it in the ether? Astrologically, could you see it? Was it predicted that something big was going to happen? Then believe in astrology. Look at astrology once again. Look at the old and ancient sciences that were used by the seers of the past to predict the future. For fuck's sake, Jesus Christ, his birth was predicted using astrology. Recognize the signs of the future that is to come and embrace it, because you can't change it and you cannot avoid it. So you might as well join the bandwagon, play the drums or the trumpet or the horns or the flute or the clarinet. Become the music that entertains during halftime when the bloody sport is taking a rest. There's not much more to say today. It's not a really happy-go-lucky message, but we, the Hopi Collective, we wish to just point out what's on the horizon. It's not good and it's not bad. It just is. Embrace change and prepare for the unknown. Build up your skill set and resiliency. Love the most unlovable people around you because you may need them to help you at some point in the future, and let bygones be bygones. It's more important to survive as a collective than to kill one another off to be king of the hill over on the horizon. There's no point in killing one another off when times will be challenging enough as it is. And so it is. Namaste.